Okay, let's do something fun. So I have the ACP slugs that I will be using in K1 pistol, 25 caliber of course, so 25 ACP. Let's load a few. Just like a Western revolver. Okay, let's try it. Try the silhouette, although it's kind of behind the wood. Low, let's get high. And now I'm out. Yeah. So, pretty cool. Let's do the same thing, only this time unsuppressed. So, loading, couple of rounds. Five is enough, I think. This will be loud. Okay. Ready? Whoa. That is loud. Hey guys. So by now most of us are used to hearing only bad news and changes to the worst, but today I actually have one that is good, at least from my aspect or my country, those of us that are in Slovenia and are shooting air guns or any kind of firearms. So you may or may not know that we had a law that strictly prohibit use of any kind of suppressors or whatever you call it, silencers. And that law just changed, and believe it or not, it changed for the better. They are actually now allowed. There is no restrictions in using suppressors from about a month or maybe a little more ago, so really recent news. So there are of course other changes, but in purpose of this video and in purpose of my gain with this change, I'm only going to talk about this in this video. And of course, having this change, it immediately made me think and made me want to do something really special to something that was already special before, and that is my K1 pistol. So you know this pistol really well. I mean, this pistol is kind of the highlight of my channel. Most of you know it already. For those that don't, I suggest that you also watch previous videos I made about it. So basically it's a pistol that I made using Huben Action. So this in the back is Huben Action, and this is actually a regulated plenum from Huben. Right now it's my main cylinder basically, and there sits also a regulator inside. And I used it already till now in 25 and 22 caliber. As you already know, I made this piece and made a stock for it, so basically grip for it, trigger mechanism, barrel shroud or whatever you call it, so to cover the barrel, and the front cap to maximize the air that I have in this small package. The goal was always to have as small as possible and as light as possible and as most closely resembling, well, not most closely, but having a high capacity, high power semi-auto PCP air pistol that still kind of fits in the actual pistol category, not something huge or something heavy. So this still weighs under 1 kilo, but the thing I made to it additionally, now that this ban for suppressors has been dropped, is I added a barrel that actually has a thread for, well, basically it accepts kind of a couple of different type of threads. It's basically dedicated for 12 by 1.5 millimeter step thread. And there's a kind of good reason why I did this, but it also accepts standard half an inch UTF, what is called, in anyway, half an inch thread size suppressors. Most of you don't know this, but I actually have a huge background and still am active in anything that has to do with sound. So this really means a lot to me that I can experiment now with this kind of things. And this video will be all about this. So right here you can see the barrel having this thread in the end. This one is in 25 caliber. And you can see here the old barrel. So this one was 18.8 millimeters. This one is almost 20, so 19 point something. And so a little longer, of course, because I used everything else the same, but the thread makes it longer. And this one is 22 caliber. Now for this video, to demonstrate you this, I actually use this suppressor. So this was a gift I got a while ago from Ergans Patagonia. So Claudio gave this suppressor to me, but of course I couldn't use it until now. It's a really effective suppressor for any kind of handguards. Actually, I love this also on RTI Prophet Compact and the standard Prophet as well. It really makes it quiet. The only thing I can say about this one, not really negative, but remark, is that since it has these venting holes, this first venting hole always pushes out the filts that it has inside. No big deal, but that's probably because I have a little bit overpowered air guns in my collection. Anyways, the reason why I made it to fit also the slightly smaller and slightly different step suppressors was because I also have this suppressor, really tiny one from Effecto. This is one of the air guns that you will be seeing review shortly as well. So you can see that this one threads on slightly tighter. In any case, it centers, the back part centers it, so it doesn't matter if it's not that tight, just when it threaded fully in, it's well protected. So, of course, this one doesn't make it quite as quiet as this one because the volume is quite different. Now, if you watch, I assume you watch previous videos on this pistol already, you probably know that I have it regulated. I did show potential power. Actually, I only stated for 25 potential power of unregulated, but for me still the regulated is kind of the preferred way of use. So the way I'm typically using it is I have it set to 700 feet per second with JSB King's MK2 or MK1, doesn't really matter. So these are the heavy ones, the 33.95 grain. So that gives it a around 37 foot-pounds or just under 50 joules of energy. So huge amount of energy for less than 20 centimeter barrel in the pistol. And also still gives me 10 shots from roughly 280 bars fill. If I go just a little bit lower to, like, say, for example, 200 meters per second, which is so 10 less, so it's 30 feet per second less, so 670 feet roughly, then I can get way more. Don't know exactly what, but from 300 I get at least 15, maybe 16, 17, maybe even full magazine worth of shots. But still, kind of 10 shots does it for me, you know. You just refill it. It's ridiculously fast to refill because the air capacity is extremely low. Anyways, not to make this video too long, what I wanted to do, since I am, as I mentioned, an audio engineer, I wanted to give you an actual difference between what it sounds with and without the suppressor. I only use this one to test. And there are a lot of videos that do this on YouTube, but I rarely find one that actually sets up everything correctly. So the thing is that most cameras with good reason have compression of the dynamics of the audio built in them, and some of them have an option to turn this off and some don't. Luckily mine does. I could use also other setup to do this, but I did it with a camera, and I don't have it here, a microphone from Rode, stereo microphone, doesn't matter which one, and I set the volume so low that it didn't clip and it didn't use the limiter or the compressor at all. So what I will show you now is first the clip from actual no normalization, so no volume change in between the videos of both unsuppressed and suppressed K1 pistol in 25 with the power settings I mentioned. And afterwards, so I will do this in front of the barrel, so how other person that is in front of me would hear it, and as well as how I hear it in the back side. You will notice that front side has much more, let's say, low end pop to it than the back side, because you're getting that pressure wave directly towards you, not bounced from surrounding. And I will show you also then a suppressed version, so from both sides, both things. And we will also see the velocity. And then in the end, I will show you also a compressed version, so you get a kind of a feeling how you hear it, because uncompressed it will be, you won't hear me even speak, because the volume will have to be so low to allow the loud pop of the unsuppressed pistol. And in the end I will show you compressed, just so you can hear me talk and also have a feeling of how it actually sounds. But for the volume purpose, the uncompressed version, so the first one, is the one that you should listen to. So maybe one more remark. I really appreciate all the comments I get for this pistol. I mean, you guys are just amazing. You like it so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, the pistol is amazing and I like it as well, but still I didn't expect that kind of response. Thank you really a lot. I tend to answer all of your questions that you have about it, but one thing I'm not answering anymore is how much would does it cost, where can I get it, would you make one for me, and things like that, because sorry, it's my prototype, I'm not selling it. And I'm not making it. I'm just a regular guy, just owning and making some cool things. So with that said, keep watching the rest of the video to see the differences. It's really, the difference is huge. It's like makes this gun totally different gun. It still has the same recoil, same velocity, same power, same impact, but it's just pop, nothing else, no bang or anything. But a lot of you, of course, know this also from firearms, from those of you that use suppressors and have a subsonic ammunition. Really, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Oh yeah, don't forget to click subscribe and bell button and thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever. So yeah, that's it. Thanks again. We have the camera slightly back and to the left, and and of course the compressors and limiters are off. So let's see what we get. So roughly 700 feet per second. Now let's put suppressor on. Okay. And do the same thing. I rotated the magazine just to make sure that there is no pellet in the chamber when I put on the suppressor. Okay. It almost feels like it's a totally different pistol. it's empty. Okay. Okay, I rotate the cylinder. So there is no pellet in the chamber in front of the barrel for safety reasons because I'm threading on the suppressor. Okay. I think that was 5, right? Yeah. Okay, so for the first test we have it without the suppressor. The velocity will be roughly 210 meters per second. I have it set to feet per second now, and the correct energy, so you will be able to see it in the empirical units. So here is the gun, as I mentioned, unsuppressed right now. We have the camera slightly back and to the left, and you can, and of course the compressors and limiters are off. So let's see what we get. So roughly 700 feet per second. Now let's put suppressor on. Okay. And do the same thing. I rotated the magazine just to make sure that there is no pellet in the chamber when I put on the suppressor. Okay. It almost feels like it's a totally different pistol. I believe we have like 2 more or 1 more. No, it's empty. Okay. Okay, so same thing. First unsuppressed, and same pellets, same velocity, same setting, same everything. Okay, I rotate the cylinder. So there is no pellet in the chamber in front of the barrel for safety reasons because I'm threading on the suppressor. Okay. I think that was 5, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's it.